This is St. Louis. This is a neighborhood in St. Louis, Missouri, last May. This is following a series of massive tornadoes in the St. Louis region. We also had quite a few tornadoes in southeast Missouri. As you can see, the devastation is absolutely unbelievable. I walk these streets myself. You've got buildings completely destroyed, homes absolutely razed to the ground, churches whose roofs were lifted off, whose sanctuaries were completely destroyed, streets that were ripped up. And the problem is that many of these neighborhoods don't look a lot different now because in some cases they're still waiting for relief. Now, FEMA, I'm glad to say that the president approved Missouri's disaster relief for FEMA, and it did go out the door, which is terrific, but we had to wait a long time for it. And the reason for that was FEMA at the time was very slow in getting on the ground, in doing their damage assessments, and then making the recommendations to the White House that under the statute are the necessary prerequisite for unlocking that aid. And I wish I could say that this was a one-off, but it's not in my experience. In my experience in the state of Missouri, when we have a natural disaster, FEMA is slow. FEMA is often ill-informed. FEMA does not interface well with residents. I remember one incident when we had severe flooding in the state a few years ago, where FEMA not only took forever to get on the ground and get a disaster declaration ready to go for the president, but also when it came to awarding individual aid, which was needed in these tornadoes too, by the way, when it came to awarding individual aid, FEMA awarded individual aid to some farmers whose houses have been completely destroyed and then later tried to claw it back. I kid you not, went to the farmer and said, you know, actually, we know that you applied and we approved it and we gave it to you several months ago, but we changed our minds and we want it all back. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It is absolutely ridiculous. So here's my question to you. I think what your agency does is hugely important. We know it is in the state of Missouri. And by the way, we just had a bunch more tornadoes just a few weeks ago for which we need aid and relief. My question is, will you come in and take the reins of this agency and make it actually work for the people of my state and every state who, when they're facing these disasters, they need quick relief, they need quick responses. Our citizens need to know what's available to them, how to apply, how to get the relief they need. Will you take the reins on this agency and start making it work?
Yes, Senator. It would be my privilege and honor to serve the American people and to do just that.
Good. I think it's absolutely vital, and I can't emphasize enough to you how important it is in my state. I just want to.
A devastating natural disaster leaves communities in ruins. Families wait desperately for help. Relief funds are delayed. And questions begin to mount about whether government agencies are truly serving the people they're supposed to help. In a tense Senate hearing, Senator Josh Hawley confronted federal nominees over FEMA's disaster response failures and a controversial TSA policy that sparked nationwide debate. His message was clear. Americans deserve faster assistance, better communication, and more accountability from their government. Let's break down the key moments from this dramatic exchange.
Before I move on, I wrote to the president along with every other member of the Missouri delegation just a week and a half ago, supporting my governor's request for disaster relief for those April tornadoes that I mentioned. This is in process now, I believe, with the agency. Will you work to expedite this, to cut red tape, to get these disaster declarations when they're requested, to get them approved, to move them on up the chain so that this relief that is statutorily available can flow to neighborhoods like this who need it desperately?
Absolutely, Senator. I think the disaster declaration process and also the federal mentorship that goes into it needs to be improved. I believe states need to receive better customer service. I have full faith and confidence in the FEMA workforce, but we can do better. And there's a significant amount of areas where that process should be simplified, better understood, and we owe you answers, I think, much faster.
Good. That's music to my ears. That's music to my ears, and I know it will be to the citizens of Missouri. We need better service. We need it faster. We need clear direction. And folks need to be able to apply for their individual assistance, understand what they're getting and when they're going to get it. So I'm counting on you to make changes in all of those areas. Mr.
Like and subscribe for more political showdown.